I was among the people whom God gave the privilege of researching the business world of buying and selling. So when I contested for the governorship of Anambra State, which I won 100% several times, Humphrey also enlisted my name because for a house to stand the test of time, you need high level of renovation. But because I wanted to come in to rest in this place at least for 1 month, it took me 45 million naira. 45 million naira to do little thing. Igbos will not go market on Monday. All the effort of our governors, they didn't go. Nobody goes. Even when you say there's no unknown gunman or IPOP, Igbos will stick at home to honor their brother. Yes. There wasn't any time we brought him to come and lead us, but he's self-proclaimed. But yet we're honoring him for you to see how far Igbos love themselves. But why are you holding somebody's son? Somebody who is talking about something you don't know whether we will realize or you will not realize. It's a game of future. Why are you holding him? You never see him shooting any gun. No, what can they say that Kalumwakwa has done? Why are they holding him? But several people have announced the Yoruba nation. Nobody's holding them.
Hello guys, this is Creative Law TV. We are live and direct in Umunya, Oyi local government of Anambra State. So at the residence of Chief Dr Okey Odunze, the former governorship aspirant as of 1990 or 1999. So we are here today. You remember one of her daughter, the former posted this magnificent house just earlier this week, and then it went viral. You know, Creative Law TV, we always appreciate good things and promote our own. God has son. This man is a living legend. Let's go in to meet him so that he will tell us what made him to build this, would I call it a government house in his village, or would I call it a castle? This is too much. This house is about 34 years old, but it still stands tall. Even, I don't think there's no how to compare it to in Umunya currently as of now. So let's go in so that the man will tell us what motivated him to build this house and why he decided to build the house they're supposed to build in Abuja or other city you can think of in his town. As of 34 years ago, Oga, I don't have a guy name.
Welcome to my country home. We used to call it village, our village. But Oyibo people who trained us normally call it to be country home. My name is Dr Okey Odunze. I'm from Umunya here, Ujobi Umunya, in Oyi local government, Anambra State. I was born and bred in this place. I left this compound when I was 12 and joined people who would like to carry me as an apprentice or servant in order to enable me to finish my primary school. All the agreement is to enable me to finish my primary school. So which means I left here within the time I was in elementary. We call it elementary, not primary. Elementary 4. My school is there. That school you saw when you came in. After that, I came back to this place, having finished, and spent 3 months. Someone came and took me to Enugu. But then I spent 18 months with that person. Their place is very close to this place. The other village is Umunya. We couldn't stay anymore because of the problems associated with him. He has no hope, I have no hope. And I came back and went back to Enugu. to do any odd jobs that could enable me to have something doing in future. And if possible, for me to get myself to go do some extra moral classes that will enable me to have GCO level. By then, it was a very famous thing for somebody to have GCO level. It was a very famous thing. So on that note, I went in with a level in various type of artisan things or life or profession. Being a hawker, being a peasant person, moving around. Finally, I was able to have 380 naira. That was 1996. I committed myself to God's hand and asked Him to help me, because that 380 naira, my mother gave me 50 naira and borrowed 50 naira to me, which means I'm owing my mother 100 naira. My father likewise did the same, because they're very poor people, but they love me so much. There's nothing they can do for me. All the people I'm teaching in primary school, they all went to secondary school. Not only that they went, but also some of them bought bicycles while going. So it's too much a challenge to me. So I started business with it, one business or the other. By the grace of God, by 1999, here is almost void of anything good. My father returned back to the mat house where he lived before the war, and my mother returned back to small zinc house of 2 bedroom where she lived before the war, because the war devastated this place, totally devastated. Biafran Nigerian war. In fact, this place was a bending ground when we came back. And I started another building that July 1979. With that my meager money, by then I've paid all the people whom my father borrowed money 50 naira. It was a big thing for us to pay back. My mother, 50 naira. Even the teller that borrowed us the money is still alive. He's in Amawabioka. But we were able to pay. It was a big thing, it's a celebration. So July I started 4-bedroom flat for my bungalow for my father, and 6-bedroom for my mother. And my brother, who happens to be a pastor then. Fortunately, in 1980, I couldn't, but not 1981, almost 2 years, I was able to finish it. Tinted glass, furnished, put it in order. It was a big growth. I got married. I married at my 22. My 22 was the time I born my first child. So which means I married at 1981, June 27th. 1 year after my marriage, I gave birth to my son at June 27th, the same day, the same time. So by that time, God has already helped me to come up to bakery business. I established bakery in Enugu, Calabar Street, the end down of Calabar. The place is still around, but I gave it free to a church, which I'm not a member, but they came to buy from me the place. It happens at a church, I know the owner. I told the people, wait, agent, I'm sorry. On the way is the agent. I cannot sell this land to these people. Call your Gerasio, I've given it to you people, the land free. So they took it. So, but the bakery business devastated me. I had a lot of loss on it. 3 years, busy, inactive. During that time, I started with my pickup to be going to IMT Enugu to have more extra moral class lesson, because I love education, but there's no way to it. Well, you all know, no matter how you are, and you do not defeat your own self, nothing will defeat you. If you do not defeat your own self, nothing will defeat you. If you read Joshua from verse 1 to verse 9, God kept on telling this war hero, whom he turned into a prophet, be courageous, be not dismayed, do not be afraid. Why? Well, God has created man to be in his image. Any disaffect you did to yourself will then stop the movement of God in your life. So he kept on. If there is nothing man can contribute, everything is 100% God, then why should God be asking Joshua repetitively, be this, be this, be this? God needs encouragement of man. He needs fearlessness of man, determination of man. So what I did is that I sold everything I have in that bakery and start traveling to Europe to buy goods. It wasn't easy. It took me 3 years, which means with 3 years of great fall in bakery, 3 years of starting to run Europe at loss, to the extent I could not even change my shoes, which snow damaged, because somebody moving from one country and the other country in Europe, you're almost like a poor man, because they have nothing to offer commercially in bringing here. You go to London and come back, you move with British Caledonia in the night and come with Nigerian Airways in the night. From there, by then they are still exchanging tickets. So we used to go to Europe for about 3 times a week. Although from there a governor has been produced, who I would not like to mention his name, whom of course you know. A lot of billionaires are built through getting something solid to start the men traveling. So I was among the people whom God gave the privilege of researching the business world of buying and selling. We ended up to Hong Kong, where we buy from mainland China through agents and brought to Nigeria to sell. So what I did is that if I go to a nature market, you take samples. You go to Hong Kong, the one that is profitable. You may have 2 samples out of 20. You may have 5. You bring those ones to our nature here and sell as much as profit you make. You give God thanks. You go again. At the initial stage, we were traveling to Hong Kong 3 times a month. My trading was on flour, on wristwatches, before I went into full imitation jewelries. Any kind of jewelry you have, put anywhere they are making it, we take it as a sample and make it in our own way and sold it cheap. So you who bought something about 100,000, somebody can use 1,000 naira and buy the same thing you bought. So also like all the Switzerland watches, Toronto, Morris, Etel, all these and that and that and that. We are manufacturing them for China, and we bring it not adulterated, not imitation, but that is the price of such goods. But that made us to be fast rich. Somebody who saw us that time, especially the uncivilized preachers, that are saying that we are running for drugs. I have not tried the drugs, but I know some boys who are very clean like you guys, who are into it. They are not making money. Something from airport to airport, you are meeting a Waterloo. Either you drop it in one place and miss. Where will you make money? But an open trade. And I'm sure 95% of Igbo boys, I know them, don't went into a stormy trading research like the way I do. We do even competition. We imitate ourselves. We compete ourselves. We learn from ourselves. When you finish, some people will think you have gone. You will start picking what they are doing, the kind of trading, so that you pick sample from those ones. A Chinese philosopher said that those who think, or some people were born with wisdom. Some people are without. But even if you are without, you can learn, you can imitate. It's not a must. Nothing is more advantage to you by nature. That is not with the other man, no. Your father to be rich does not mean you will be rich. It depends on your own evolution, how you want your life to go. But I prefer to move with traders. We stay in a very nice place in aircraft and eat good food in one restaurant or the other. We drink this soft drinks a lot. We are using business class then. So both people are honoring us, not knowing that, because not that we don't have the money. But if you have business class and you have about 6 baggages, three, they will give it to you free. But when you check 32 kilos times 6, what you should pay them, then you add it with the economy. You are making profit already. So that makes us to be someone like me with the big eyes. I'm staying in first class with tick CEOs. And my own is that I may, out of prayer, roll about 15, 12, 18 bags and bring it to Hong Kong airport, praying, even speaking in tongue. And God orderly helped me. It turned out to be a favor. You may be there and see some of your brothers, Igbo brothers who came, the rich ones, who came from South Korea or from Taipei. They come and say, I said, brother, please can you help me? Say, no problem. They give you a ticket. You check them in and everything, all there goes. God has done it for me severally. And having been a faithful person, which I decided to be, you may come to the airport. They may say that a lot of task force people are waiting for people who will go to with currency. Because some of these laws are targeted to Igbos only, not any other person. Because other Nigerians are traveling to overseas as much as currency they wish. And we are buying currency from them. When you are traveling to London, Hong Kong, you now pay money to somebody. You go to London and claim the money before traveling in the evening. So what I normally do, I pay for pound sterling. I get the money, I collect the money from London and change it to dollars. There's profit on it. It's a trade of its own. So I've already started making money. Why go? And those who are fearful that they cannot take their money go, you can pass the money for them through your connections. Most of them, especially Yoruba guys, they are very fearful and carry money out. So if you manage, but we are not fearful. Instead, we are even praying to see as much as people we can pass money for. So immediately the plane goes up to 4 hours, 3 hours. You know, you have crossed Nigeria or even Niger Republic. All of them will come and give them their money. You make profit at all. So Igbos have sources to make money, not drug, not ritual. We don't know anything about ritual. Before somebody can ritualize, you have already traveled to Far East several times. And the money you will get will not be up to the money you can get. So where is the base of rituals? We know people whom they say that in society, their society helps them to sell cars. But I've imported over 1,000 cars from ordinary Dubai here, not even America. Clean cars. Clean. Like you guys, the way you we sold all of them. They are even begging us to be giving them, to be selling for us. You may even see some people being in one place praying, some allergies praying for their people. But you sold all your own. If them, what is good? What is good? People can afford it. Some are into pass in Taiwan. Most of us were into general goods in China, but we made fortune. Fortune does not mean we print money or into ritualism or into drug or any peddling. We are above that because we have enough sight how to make money more than those people. So it works for us. Some people use it to establish, unfortunately, industries. But industry cannot work in this country very well, especially at that time, because of massive e-book commerce. Take for instance, we are importing Tiger Head batteries, about 10 containers. You use about 60,000 naira to sell one container, which means we made 600,000 when money was money. Why? They have their factories in Lagos. So the way we are selling our things, where we are buying, the way we are importing goods, is a total sack to foreign industries. They are liquidated. I was importing electric battery, cables from Manalek, London, Sweden. Swinton, not Sweden. We almost closed all the electrical companies because of a high level of importation. It is the high level of Igbo's importation commerce is what kept Nigeria going, because we pay a lot of duty. The duty the federal government collects from Igbos are much more times 1 million industries if they have it. I get them. Because there's no industry that does not declare loss. Their auditors will make them to declare loss so that they will not be paying tax. But commerce, immediately you are coming, you pay their duty. So we progress the customs. We made them to be big. We made Nigeria to be big. We widen the horizon of individuals. Many of our graduates then You can imagine I was 28 years to earn O-level GC. Because one, struggle for my emancipation, materially, and education in one hand. I was 29 years when I took my A-levels. But yet, this my little certificate, it does not warrant me to sell in Nigerian politics. So when I contested for the governorship of Anambra State, which I won 100% several times, Humphrey also enlisted my name. A person of such a grade of education, who happens to be, he is professor of political science, a demographic, a high-neck chairman, will not be his governor. So if Humphrey also had come from Benue, I would have governed this state as much as that, because I saw the security report they wrote on ability to rig me. Even Abulu did not guarantee that they can rig me. I taught young men like you guys how to emancipate, especially Enugu State, where you come from. There's no local government in Enugu that I don't win. I'm winning both Ebonyi State, Enugu State, Anambra State. Later they divided state in 1991, August. I came back here and won the rest. Well, from say no, that will be over his dead body. Because 4 prominent Nigerians, such as, like I mentioned, since I've mentioned, like Pius Okibo, Jerome Udoji, Pascal Jack, and some other poets from Nand, they came on board and said, I will not govern them. And they went to Aikomo. How do I know the fundamentals of this? It's through Aikomo. So when they disqualified me, but before then, I had a vision that I would be big. So I came down. By then, this issue of creation of state was actually what was going on. And so since we were going to leave a beautiful government house in Enugu, should they create a state suddenly? I will use this place to make a government house. So the people who built this place are the architects, engineers from Enugu State, from Wo. So we came and we rounded up. What you see is not only a house, but in case if I have some metallic, costly, gold, diamond type of cars, Rolls Royce, as the way I'm thinking, I'm sorry about that, it will be parking here. So if I bring such a vehicle now, by then I was using 500 SEL and 260 SE long that I bought from Brussels. So Brussels. So and other vehicles. So if my vehicle is like that, what you do is to roll the chairs out. And when you come to that place, you come and the other one. I get it. We can flat it, good cement. And good cement. The vehicle will come here and turn. This is a turning around. If you park a vehicle here, you turn around and you move. So should there be any problem in the east, but not in the east, by the grace of God, my lovely properties like good vehicles, I can park it here. If you carry this chair to this one, carry the other one to this one, it gives you to park about, it goes about 4 vehicles or 5, and you load them up. So that's the kind of house I have interest. We built it. My mother was living there before she became late. I built the other one for my father, whom we don't have the same character. So it has to live in his own. And his dream is that he will born a child that will build an upstairs for him. It was a wonderful dream. When he told me this dream, you know, eating beans is not a good thing, especially if you're strong. This is my brother. We're only two. The one that senior me with 5 years. I built, all of them was going stimonously and be completed. It became a different thing in this place. Your guys have held various movies in this place up to, let's say, about 200 times in this compound. I'm also, I live in Independence Lot, 28 Ezolo Street. I started living there when I was 29. I built 2-story building for you to see how my eyes is. 16 rooms and 5 parlors. That 5 parlors, one represent Abakaliki Senatorial Zone, Nsukka Senatorial Zone, Enugu Senatorial Zone, Awka Senatorial Zone, Onitsha Senatorial Zone. I enjoy living a high destined life. The house is still there. So that is what made the house that attracted you to me.
So what can we visit there, sir?
You are free to visit there. You are free to visit there. But it's no longer like this way, because for a house to stand the test of time, you need high level of renovation. But because I wanted to come in to rest in this place at least for 1 month, it took me 45 million naira.
How much?
45 million naira to do little thing in this place.
The money you need to do
45 million naira
those maintenance.
to maintain this place for me to come in. Because for about how many years I've not been here. I always come and sleep in a hotel in Awka and finish what I'm doing and go back. So for about a period of 4 years now to 6 years, I've not done something good in this place. So it took me about 45 million naira just to organize it little, the way you see, with my able GM from Imo State anyway, who does a good job for me. So for me to come in. I come into this place. We are not from a rich family. We are peasants. I later did my PGD, my first degree in AUL, in Archway in London, American University of London, from Kansas State University. Later I came back here and had my PGD from ISUT, Enugu, whereby I went to Lagos, to the prestigious University of Lagos, UNILAG. I had my master's degree. Nothing stopped me from doing all of them there abroad, but I don't want this issue of forge, no forge. So I like the Nigerianize my certificate. After I'm not looking at using it to, but if actually you want to do work abroad, you can't have all this sweat in Nigeria and tell you that it will take you. So also because of economic reasons, because here is quite 10% or 20% from abroad, the cost. I had my PhD in Abuja, public admin and policy analysis. I did much work on rural life where I came from, though using development administration to make my quantitative analysis on it. So the issue is, God is able to raise every man who have hope that God will raise him up. What you are doing today may not be what you'll be doing in the next 2 years. Having stepped in here as a house of prayer, house of ideology, is the idea that rules. Your history will be a different thing. Because a lot of young men who have come in contact with me, they moved to various portals of life and have succeeded. They didn't go there with my training on finance, but sometimes word matters a lot. that somebody who saw me in Unilag and shout, Okey Odunze. God, people made me to be famous. I said, what are you doing? Say, it's reading psychology. I say, immediately you finish, you have access to America. Says, good, yeah, you do. Try to do clinical psychology. Don't do any other branch. He went and finished his first master's degree in clinical psychology. The first place he started working, he got a very big car and called me that what I told him in Unilag has worked out. So you usher in ideas to people. So after that, I became the national treasurer of SDP. They compensated me with that. I worked with Babangida very well. And I later, after Babangida, we worked with Abacha and formed USP before emergence of PDP, which I took a back seat because you cannot continue politics without anything building. That's why most of we Igbos are not in politics so much, like the Northerners or half of Yorubas, because we are busy. Igbos will survive anywhere, anything they want to survive. They have opened shop in all African countries. If you go to most of African countries, notably Uganda, you will not believe it's not Oka. Now, Igbos, if you want to learn Igbo, you learn Igbo. Fortunately, all these African countries, they like us to marry their daughters and are born in that place. We are not isolated. It's only in Nigeria that Igbos are little now isolated. They are no longer as isolated like during the time of Buhari. Because during the time of Buhari, they thought they would remain there permanent. What happened to them was like a film. But now, their so-called friends and allies have taken over power. And all of them, because they have brain, Yorubas have brain. They are thinkers and scholars. Most of them are my schoolmates. I read under them. They taught me, even in England, I can remember 2 lecturers from Yoruba, they are our lecturers then. So they know it. They are taking over Nigeria. How long their own will rise, we don't know. But what we are praying, may God help that an Igbo man will be president of this country. We are not going to be president to divide Nigeria. We are going to be president to give Igbos opportunity to sell in governance, to go about their business without overtaxing them. We want a city like Nigeria, indivisible, indissoluble state of Nigeria, that will be favorable to all race. Nigeria is not favorable to all race, especially Igbos. But God is favorable to us, very favorable to us, to the extent that Igbos are rejecting work. If you see where they are recruiting military or police or whatever, Igbos, you see there is not up to 10%, because they don't have anything. An average boy in Igbo, ordinary security person, working or Safia, is making up to 200,000 a month. So what is he going to this jumpre type of work? They are not in anywhere, because we are pushed to the wall, and we found comfort with God. And the universality of the world became so much open for us. So Igbos are in Japan, taking leadership everywhere. So most of us who are the not beginning, but middle age of those who countered a lot of forces, we won. We succeeded at our own right. I'm not a rich man per se, but I'm very, very comfortable. Because one thing that is different from my own is that I'm not in any bank, any cover. I've not gone to any bank to seek for loan. Loan for what? We have not gone to any company to look for credit. We are not owing bank. In fact, my children, they don't have any liability. I'm not a partnership with anybody. My properties in Abuja cannot be used. No pen will be used in any one of them. Even if it's 50 years, you can't use pen. All of them, we are the most first that started using tie all round for renting houses. You don't use pen. That's why I say my children, they don't have liability. Fortunately, most of these my children are millionaires now. They're sending money to me while I'm sending money to myself. So I love the way God treated me finally in this life. I'm not expecting to die tomorrow, but I'm expecting to live and live long. I came home because my people here, late Igwe died. Many of them summoned courage to invite me to be their Igwe. But our constitution has made it to be democratic. So some people must contest. At least for it to be what? To be noteworthy. That is democratic. And those who are contesting, I don't know their chances, but whatever. When we finish election, every voter has his own line to go to their own line. I will turn out to be a traditional ruler. And that's why a few months ago, all their Omenana, traditional rights, I just finished it. That's why I want to tell you about a red cap. So if I'm a red cap sheep, which I am now, it's not up to 1 week. So you may not be seeing me with this, because I have to learn how to cover my good hair that normally come to be a red cap sheep. But it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Every red cap sheep is supposed to be an honorable Igbo. I love as an Igbo man. Igbo is inviting a lot of honor to themselves. Look at last demonstration. Igbos will not go into demonstration. No Igbo man went to demonstration. Before they said that Igbos are Republican, we are not subordinate to our own. But we are subordinate now to one ordinary word. Igbos will not go market on Monday. All the effort of our governors, they didn't go. Nobody goes. Even when you say there's no unknown gunman or IPOP, Igbos will sit at home to honor their brother. Yes. There wasn't any time we brought him to come and lead us. But he's self-proclaimed. But yet we're honoring him for you to see how far Igbos love themselves. But why are you holding somebody's son? Somebody who is talking about something you don't know whether he will realize or he will not realize. It's a game of future. Why are you holding him? You never see him shooting any gun. No, what can they say that Kalunwankwa has done? Why are they holding him? But several people have announced the Yoruba nation. Nobody's holding them. But you're holding Kalunwankwa for what? Even court has released him several times. You're still holding him. I want to use this opportunity to ask President Bola Tinubu, my personal friend, whom I work with him on person to person during our Abiola saga. We work together. Now God has made him to be president out of his own God's given effort. After his party wanted to send him out of the race, he survived everything to release that poor man. Release him. He shouldn't be there. Let's check all the government cells and retry those people there and know who to jail and who not to jail and release people. We want to see him as a freedom fighter, for him to fight for less privileged people whom government on their own decided to explore and to oppress for nothing. That's so many of them. Let's release all those people. After all, it costs less. Federal government are freezing. Federal government is feeding a lot of prisoners. Why many of these prisoners are not supposed to be fed? Because they didn't commit it. So why can't you release all of them? Of which if they release, many of our boys will come back home and seek for what to do. And they will start doing. If you say discipline is enough. And I'm begging the non-government and the IPM, IPOP, and ACN to take it easy. Let them be a security to their people, not to war with police or army. So the federal government eyes will not be on them. What God said that we are going to get, we are going to get it. During the war, I was 10. But 10 during the war, like it's just like 18 years old boy now. We are devastated. I don't want us to make any move without a good political calculation, political and economic calculation, or social, political, economic calculation. I don't want us to do it. Because I don't want anything to drag us back again. May God bless us. Thank you. Any other question?